So let's look at number 12 in section 3.9. It is finding the derivative of this function, log base 3 of 6x. And as a reminder, in the lecture video, we derive the derivative for the general logarithmic function, right? Log base a of x, this is equal to 1 over the natural log of a times x. Keep in mind, if this is indeed the natural log, which is log base e, we know the derivative of natural log of x was 1 over x. This works because the natural log of e is 1, so we get 1 over x for that derivative in that particular case. But in general, right, this is the general general logarithmic function rule. And then this is the chain rule involved with it, right? The generalized rule, right? If you have the natural log of a of u, where u is a function of x, and you're finding the derivative with respect to x, you get 1 over natural log of a times u times, right, the derivative of that inner function, du dx. Sometimes we write du dx as u prime, and we bring it up top. You can write it this way a little more compactly, right? Very similar, when we did the natural log of u, that derivative came out to be u prime over u because the natural log of e is 1. And so you can see this little factor comes into play if the base of our logarithm is something other than e, which it is in this case, right? It's base 3. So when we use this rule, the derivative of this is derivative of the outer function, 1 over the natural log of 3 times what? U, which is 6x, times the derivative of the inner function. The derivative of the inner function, 6x, is just 6. So it's 6 times 1 is 6 up top here over the same denominator. Notice this 6 is a common factor in the numerator and denominator, and we should simplify, divide numerator and denominator by 6, and we end up with this expression. Now, this is the way I typically write it. I think Achieve likes this form. These are both exactly the same thing. So remember, when we write ln of 3, that's probably the best way to think of it, because this is not, again, ln times 3. Ln is not a number, it's the name of a function, right? The logarithmic function with base e. This is plugging 3 into that function, which gives us an output, remember, that is the exponent on the base e needed to get 3. So e to some power equals 3. This is that power. So you can write it that way. A lot of times we get lazy and don't write the parentheses, like when we do sine of x, we just write sine of x without being in the parentheses. Same thing with the natural log function. So we can write it this way. Again, I put in parentheses like this so it doesn't get confused with that x doesn't creep into the function. So this is the natural log of 3 times x, not the natural log of 3x. Okay, so just some clarifying things there, but either one of these answers would be acceptable. This one, I think, is the one that Achieve prefers, but let me know if there's any questions or problems with this one. Hope this helps.